Zakia Vian carefully clips into her rope and goes over the lip of the fissure where we can see down below ancient ruins exposed. Her combat bot Scorpio has already descended and is rappelling down into the dark depths. As she adjusts herself, one of the old-timers comes up and says, "Now remember, anything you find, any treasure, any relics, you bring back to us and we'll split. We helped you get set up and you're going to go down and find him for us." And Zakia Vian says, "Yes, I remember. I know." And the old-timer says, "Well then, gods be with you." And Zakia Vian smiles and says, "Oh, they are." Hello and welcome back. It is episode 3 of Gone Solo Starforged. I am your host and storyteller, Royce Rosewood. We are playing through the adventures of Zakia Vian, cleric of the Church of the Closed Circuit, a mechanical cleric who fixes things up with the power of her god Empyreon. In our last episode, Zakia had heard rumors of a fissure that had opened up in the desert, revealing ancient ruins and relics, and so she sped out there with her combat bot Scorpio. Unfortunately, she was too late, and the place was swarming with treasure hunters and relic hunters, and they awoke the ancient alarm system, making these remnants, these biomechanical fighters, warriors, silvery shapeshifters come out of the ruins and battle, but with their combined powers, they were able to overcome the remnants. And Zakia Vian promised to go down and explore a secret chamber, a hidden chamber that none of the other treasure hunters were able to get into. They set her up, they healed her up, they refreshed her supplies, and in return, she's promised to bring back whatever she finds. But she has her own mission. She's trying to find secrets about the history of this planet and learn more so that she can help the trapped spirit, which is currently powering the entire community of Enigma. Is that enough for you? A couple things before we get started. So I did not intend to do this so early, but we have, I believe, encountered a precursor vault, which means we get to roll on some very specific and fun tables about vaults in the Oracle book here. I've also taken the idea of an Oracle array from the book, which suggests, using multiple oracles in a situation like this. So we're going to be using the vault oracles, and then I've also chosen the themed ruined oracles, and I've put together just a simple little array like this, so they will be flavored with some ideas of ruins. So we're not going to roll on any of the outside oracles for the vault because we've already established that we know where we are. There's a fissure that's opened up in the desert. We've established carvings and ruins and everything's sort of off kilter. So we have our vow here, explore the hidden chamber. And I'm going to run this as an expedition because she's going to be going deeper into the vault and hitting waypoints. And in each waypoint, we can roll on our oracles and see what's there. All right, so we are going to undertake an expedition. When you trailblaze a route through perilous space, journey over hazardous terrain, or survey a mysterious site, which is what we're doing, give the expedition a name and rank. We've already done that. For each segment of the expedition, envision your approach. I think we're going to stay vigilant. We are descending down on ropes, and she's staying aware and being cautious because of the remnants that came out and attacked, right, the previous day. Yes, so I think stay vigilant, which means we get to roll wits, which is great because that's +3. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, we've got a 2 + 3 that gives us a score of 5. That gives us a strong hit because we beat the 4 and the 3. Great start. It says, on a strong hit, you reach a waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank of the expedition. All right, so dangerous, we get 2 checkboxes. She rappels down into the fissure, and it's pretty narrow. There's ruins, so there's like carvings on the walls, and there's pillars, but it's all slanted. It's all ajar, and there are different pieces. There are walls and other chambers that are sort of all kind of mishmashed on both sides of the fissure, and maybe there's a column that's fallen across, making sort of a makeshift bridge. But they reach sort of a platform or a landing where the old timers had said, hey, there's this hidden chamber down there. We couldn't get in there, but we feel like there's more in there. There's something in there. And so she, lands at the platform, and I guess I'm imagining some sort of like door or entryway, something that would signal that there's like something within. So the old timers sort of know that there's something there, but they haven't been able to get in. She gets down fine, and Scorpio is there, and alert, and kind of he's got his plasma rifle and looking around. And she comes up to this doorway. So I think what she's going to do is she's going to call on Empyrean. When you secure an advantage by calling on it for guidance or aid, roll plus the linked stat. So we are going to secure an advantage. And we're going to roll plus wits because that's our linked stat for when we talk to Empyrean. All right, so she, does her ritual. She touches her head in her specific place, and she says, Empyrean, guide me as I explore these ruins. Guide my eyes. All right, we've got 3 plus 3. That is 6, and that beats the 4's. Oh, and this is a match. Okay, so we haven't had this yet, but when you roll the same number on both of your challenge dice, something extraordinary happens. And in particular, for the Devotant Path, okay, so on a hit, we take +1 momentum or +1 spirit. On a strong hit with a match, a miracle or sign manifests. Takes another +1 momentum or +1 spirit. A miracle manifests. Oh, wow. First of all, we get our +2 momentum. We got +1 and then another +1, bringing our total up to +6. And so she's done this before. She's done this ritual so many times before. And, she's used to, things lighting up in her vision, sort of guiding her eyes and knowing where to place her special circuitry gloves. But this time, it's totally different. There's like this massive explosion of light and, spiraling shapes, and it seems to like sort of shape the door. And like light is trickling through all of like these ancient carvings and, lighting up this whole space. And it becomes immediately clear where she's supposed to place her hands. There are 2, sort of circular shapes that light up that were not visible otherwise. And it's just like this incredible, overwhelming sense of like guidance and power that she's never felt before. I'm going to roll on the Descriptor Oracle just in case we get a little bit additional detail about what this miracle is. All right, 95. Undiscovered. 27. Ecosystem. Undiscovered ecosystem. So as she's looking through the shapes and the spirals that are forming, she's noticing that it's forming like these trees and these rivers in this sort of lush, overgrown forest, which doesn't match the desert planet at all. It's this totally different space, and she's like, what is this from? Is this even, is this in the right place? And as she looks through and sort of from the guidance from Empyrean, she sort of realized that this planet did not always used to be a desert planet. Like, at a certain time long ago in the past, at some point, it was like a lush, fertile world. And this is being revealed to her as a cleric of Empyrean, who apparently has maybe some connection to this place. Oh, that's wild. All right, so we still get our bonuses from Secured Advantage because that was that move. On a strong hit, we take an additional +2 momentum, so we are at +8. So Zakia is feeling very emboldened. And we get +1 on our next move. Okay. All right, so I think she's going to, she's not trying to repair this door, right? She's just trying to like open it. So this is just like a general like face danger. So we get +1. You know what? No, because this face danger says when you attempt something risky. I feel like with the, the miracle manifesting, this is just a sure thing. She puts her gloves onto, the doorway, the revealed circles. And, the circuitry comes out and starts to connect, but in a strange way, a different way that she's never experienced before. And she, immediately connects with, whatever ancient technology is running this place. And it just opens up. It just opens up for her. This is like, it's almost as if she's been destined, been chosen to access this place for whatever reason. We're going to go and see what we find inside. It says we can roll once or twice. We'll see how we do. All right, 38. Excessive cold. Interesting. And we'll roll one more. 20. Damage and debris. She walks into this space, it's a chamber, sort of a larger room. And the first thing that she notices is that the temperature immediately just plummets. It's unusually cold, and especially for like the desert, right? It's pretty early in the morning, and the sun's just been coming up, but this place is cold. This place is frigid. And as she steps in, she notices that, yes, there's, been damage and debris. She can't really tell if it's from, the earthquake, the fissure that's opened, sort of the collapsing ruins, or if, was there combat here? Was there a fight here? She can't really tell. All right, we're going to continue our expedition. We've still got a +1 from that securing advantage because we didn't use it. So we're still going to stay vigilant though. We're still, proceeding cautiously. We don't know if there are remnants in here. So that's plus wits. So that's 3 + 1. So we've got 5 + 1 + 3. That's 9. You would think that would be enough, but against a 9 and a 4, that is a weak hit. All right, so we reach a waypoint, but this progress costs you. Choose one. We can suffer costs, or we face a peril at the waypoint. Envision what you encounter. All right, well, go ahead and mark progress. So that's 2 boxes. So I think we're going to face peril. We can either roll on the interior peril oracle or the ruined peril oracle. So I'll roll a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 4 gives us the ruined peril. 36. Hostile creature has staked out their territory. Well, we know what this is. This is a remnant. As they press further into the darkness, she's snapped on her, her lights, and she's looking through the chambers, and they kind of come out into a larger chamber, and there's chunks of debris, and there are collapsed chunks of rock and ruin, some with carvings. They're in a circular chamber, and as she steps in, this silvery liquid sort of pours down through these channels that have been carved, and it all kind of comes together in the center, forming this, silvery humanoid figure. And this biomechanical shape forms, and it is a remnant. And I think this one is maybe like a little bit larger than the ones that we faced outside. And it says it's hostile, so we are now in combat. We'll call this a Remnant Guardian. And the last one was dangerous, and we're going to make this one formidable. We're going to up the difficulty a little bit. All right, and I think for our objective, I think we have to defeat this. I think this is like a challenge or a test. All right, I say we are facing off against our foe, so that will be plus heart. So that's +2. All right, here we go. Enter the fray. All right, that is a 1 + 2, but we rolled a 10 and a 9. There's no way, even our momentum isn't going to help us from that. So that is a weak hit. No, sorry, that is a miss. The fight begins with you in a bad spot. I think what happens is, they come into the chamber, and the silvery liquid, forms the shape, and Zakia is just sort of like taken aback and overwhelmed, and it immediately starts firing, little bits, little fragments start shooting off of it, and just, scattering around the chamber. And so they immediately have to dive and take cover. So they are going to react under fire. They are dodging So taking cover, so we're going to roll that plus edge. So it's +2. That's 3 + 2 is 5. That gives us a weak hit. I think I want to go ahead and burn the momentum for this one. So, because that'll give us 8 and put us up to a strong hit. So we take that down to 2. So on a strong hit, you succeed and are in control. Take +1 momentum. There's this large chunk of, carved rock, and they dive behind it. Zakia and Scorpio were there, and there are these little fragments of these silvery liquid bulleting everywhere. They hide, and as Zakia is there, she's like, wait, it opened up for me. Empyrean showed me a sign, showed me a miracle. We can do this. You cover me, and I'll dash to that rock, taking cover to try to get close to it. All right, so we're going to call this gain ground, because we are in control. We are taking action to reinforce your position. We'll call this maneuvering. We'll call this plus edge. All right, so that's +2. All right, that is 1 + 2, which is 3, which is a weak hit. Okay, so on a hit, you stay in control, and we choose one. We can mark progress, take +2 momentum, or add +1 on your next move. I think we're going to mark progress because we need some of that. That's just one box so far. Scorpio opens fire, and Zakia is able to get a little bit closer and take shelter. And then she's going to draw her sword. And now that she's close, she's going to get in and strike. And she gets +1 from Scorpio for striking. And so that is iron. So that's 1 + 1. All right, that's 3 + 2, so that is 5 against a 5 and a 1 is a weak hit. Mark progress twice, but you expose yourself to danger. You're in a bad spot. She gets up and she's able to dash towards the guardian, and she draws her sword and she, slicing it at the legs. So it, kind of like recoils, but as it does so, it takes one of its arms and smashes it up against the ceiling, and more rock and carvings start to come down. And so now she's got to get out of the way of that. React under fire. And we'll call that dodging. We'll call that plus edge. All right, that's 3 + 2 is 5. That gives us a weak hit against a 9 and a 2. You avoid the worst of the danger or overcome the obstacle without cost. Make a suffer move. You stay in a bad spot. All right, we'll say that she gets a little bit hit. So we'll take -1 health. One of them kind of, hits her in the shoulder, and that causes her some damage. But now she's got more cover. Now there's more things to hide behind. So now we are going to clash, because she's going to get another hit, and she gets +1 momentum from Scorpio. All right, so this is iron. Okay, that's 1 + 1 is 2. That's still a weak hit against a 1 and a 10. You mark progress, but are dealt a counter blow or setback. You stay in a bad spot, and you must pay the price. Okay, so we just get 1 progress. For pay the price, we're going to use companion takes a hit. We'll call that a -2 health, but he will resist it. We're going to roll plus health. That's +3. So that's 5 + 3 is 8. That's a strong hit against a 1 and a 7. So give them +1 health, so he only ends up taking 1 damage. So in sort of all the confusion and the falling rocks, Scorpio was sort of caught in a bad spot, and the silvery bullets, sort of go through him, and some of his exposed circuitry, start sparking. So he has taken a hit now as well. But we do get +1 momentum from that clash. We need to get back in control of this thing. We're going to react under fire. We're going to change the plan. It says, run around, confuse it. So we're going to use this wits. Okay, that's 2 + 3 is 5. That's a weak hit against a 1 and an 8. You avoid the worst of the danger or overcome the obstacle without cost. Make a suffer move. You stay in a bad spot. Ugh. I think we'll take -1 spirit. She's discouraged that her plan doesn't seem to work. The thing seems much smarter and much harder to trick. And in fact, as they go around, it changes its shape, and now it's got 2 heads that can kind of track both of them, and it's still shooting these silvery bullets out everywhere it goes. All right, so she's going to go in and she's going to clash. Roll plus iron. All right, that's 6 plus 1. Ooh, against a 7 and an 8 is a miss. Oh, your foe dominates this exchange. You stay in a bad spot and you must pay the price. Well, let's roll on our little pay the price oracle here. Let's see if it gives us any ideas. 75. You are harmed. She'll take -1 health. But we do get +1 momentum from Scorpio. She, runs up, is trying to swing again at her sword, and the Guardian takes its arm and just hits her, just flies her across the room, and she, lands against the wall. React under fire. We are going to, she's going to gather herself, and she's, Empyrean is here with me. Empyrean is guiding me. Plus heart. So that's 1 plus 2 is 3 against a 5 and a 7. Even her momentum isn't going to... That is a miss. The situation worsens. Geez, well, I think that's another spirit. Whatever that sign was at the sign of the miracle feels really distant now, and she's starting to lose heart. We've got a clash. What we're going to do is we're going to have Scorpio fire so that we can roll plus edge. Because rolling plus iron has not been great. So rolling plus edge gives us +2. So that is 5 plus 2 is 7. Great. Okay, finally. That's a strong hit. All right. So we get to mark progress twice. We are in control, and we get +1 momentum from Scorpio. Zakia is starting to despair. Scorpio pulls out his plasma rifle and is like, "Take this, you Guardian!" and blasts through one of the heads, and it sort of bursts and reforms. But it's taking a while. It's sort of in this kind of nebulous state. So now they are in control, and they are going to. Zakia is going to take advantage of this situation to strike. So she gets to roll plus iron. All right, that's 3 plus 2 is. That's a miss, so we're going to burn our momentum. I'm going to take that down to 2 to give us a weak hit. We get to mark progress twice, but you expose yourself to danger. You are in a bad spot. She comes up and she charges the Guardian, and she brings up her sword and tries to slash through it. And she does, it's all sort of like starting to come apart and dissipate. It pushes her back, and she's scattered across the rocks. Oh, we're going to react under fire. Try to change the plan. See if she from here can see anything different. We're going to roll plus wits. We're going to react under fire. That's 2 plus 3 is 5. That is a weak hit against a 5 and a 1. Avoid the obstacle, but not without a cost. You make a suffer move. You stay in a bad spot. Take -1 supply. As she's, looking around, trying to, make an assessment, try to get an advantage, crawling around, and she's dodging, and, she rolls over onto her satchel and crunches on something and, breaks some device or some sort of thing. We're going to tweak things a little bit. She's going to take her sword and throw it so we can roll plus edge at the Guardian. All right, that's 5 plus 2 is 7. That is a strong hit. So we get to mark progress twice, and we are in control. So she takes her third, she tosses it up, slices through the Guardian, and then it's stuck, as it's losing its shape, it's dissipating. It seems like it's just about to burst apart. All right, so now she's going to take decisive action. We get to roll against our progress, which is 10. All right. Oh, double 7s. All right, so that is a strong hit with something fun and interesting. She, sort of jumps off this piece of broken rock and grabs the sword and pulls down as Scorpio kind of shoots, and the whole thing just kind of dissipates, and it all sort of starts raining this silvery liquid, and it all pulls back up into the ruins. This double sevens, I think, things start to light up again in her vision, and there were these entrances, different tunnels all the way through, and one of them lights up, and it seems to like be guiding her way, and she feels like, oh, she's like passed this test, she's defeated the Guardian, and she's able to move deeper into the vault. All right, we are definitely calling that mark progress. All right, it wasn't easy. She has, she's taken some losses. That was a difficult fight. It really took a lot out of them. But they have defeated the Guardian. So we are going to stop it there. You'll have to come back next time to find out what lies deeper within the chamber. Zakia Vian has defeated the Guardian, has passed the test, and seems to be coming into some sort of large destiny connected to Empyreon. So we'll have to find out what that is. So stick around. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share if you're enjoying this. This is Science Fantasy Awesome, and you are awesome.